Business owners have a lot to juggle. Sometimes leading your own company can be as stressful as it is exciting. And managing cash flow is absolutely something that is vital for you to lead your company and to keep it successful. In this video, we will review some definitions, some pitfalls, and some best practices. So here we go with C is for cash flow. My name is Beth Melcher. I am founder and owner of an accounting firm in northern Michigan called MoneyFit. We love business owners. I so admire people who are out there bootstrapping, making their future their own, and it's our job and our pleasure to be able to help that process. So last week I was talking with a new client. He and his partner are building a veterinary hospital up in northern Michigan. He says to me, "What's with the long paragraphs? How come everybody talks so long? How come I can't just get some bullet points?" So here you go, bullet points, because I imagine you guys are all super busy, so let's get down to it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about our terms. We're going to talk about cash and we're going to talk about income. Cash, well, cash is cash. It's the balance of your checking account. It's the balance of your savings account, maybe a little green you've got in the safe or in the drawer, but that's your cash. So what's income then? If you strip it all the way down to its bare bones, income occurs when you provide a service or a product to a customer. It may or may not match the timing where you are paid for that product or your service. So why can cash flow management be so difficult? Well, there are times when you can look at your profit and loss statement and it could tell you that you have thousands of dollars in income. However, if you haven't been able to get out and collect payments from your customers, you will have tons of income and no cash. So having income is a great thing, but not having any cash can be super difficult. You can't pay your employees and you can't pay your vendors. So before you begin a business, make sure you have additional sources to capital or cash. In the beginning, it's going to be your own credit card, probably your own personal savings, maybe even family members. Over time, you can create a relationship with a banker, of course, have a business line of credit or business credit cards, but in the beginning, it's going to be you, and that's all part of bootstrapping. So that's the potential time lag involved in the income side of your business, the timing between you provide the products and services and when you are paid by your customer. As the business owner, it is also extremely important that you manage the way the money leaves your organization, the outflows. That can be the timing of when you pay your vendors, your payroll timing, the timing that you release tax payments to the tax authorities, and then also when you as an owner, whether through payroll or owner draws, choose to pay yourself. So overall, the key is to make sure that you collect money really fast from your customers and pay as slowly as possible to your vendors. And that's the basis of great cash flow management. There are two other pitfalls I want to talk about today. One are the seasonal influences on your business. Be careful to understand your environment. If you're in a tourist area, as I am, we're very cash heavy in the summer, especially in the months of July and August. But when we hit January, February, and March, we become very cash poor. The cash demands on our organization are pretty stable throughout the year. We need to be sure to maintain enough cash in the good seasons so we can endure during the lighter seasons and when we aren't bringing as much into our organization. Also, when you're thinking about your cash position, when you look at your savings account or your checking account, that cash that's sitting in your account may not all be yours. Sorry, the kids just called from home. I'm a little late at the office. But as I was saying, that cash may not all be yours. If you were withholding taxes for your employees, you need to remit those to the state. There will be times in the month and throughout the year that you're holding on to cash that's really owned by your employees. That is not yours to spend or to be used in operations. The same stands true for your customer deposits. If a customer perhaps has given you some upfront money to perform work later, it's important that you also don't use those up in operations or you will find yourself in a cash crunch later. Okay, so we know the difference between cash flow and income. We talked about some of the pitfalls and dangers that you can get into. So what do you do? What are some best practices? I want to review those with you. And we could start with my favorite thing in the world, a spreadsheet. So I'll be right back and share it with you. One sec. So here's a great tool you can use to help manage your cash flow projections. I know it's not a software, it's not super high tech, but it's very easy to use and it doesn't require a subscription to anything. And it's really malleable, so I would recommend it. This is a cash flow planning worksheet. All I have here is I have it set up by weeks. You can set it up by months. You can do the whole year by month if that's the easiest for you. Think about how often you'll sit down and use it. I'll show you some of the mechanics, and then you can create one of your own. The most important thing we look at is your starting cash position. We think about the money that's going to come into your organization during that period of time. That's in your anticipated deposits for the month. And then we have a sense of what cash is available. And then it's just a matter of tracking what's going to be going out. It doesn't necessarily need to be something that's on your profit and loss statement, because not all of these items will. This is a cash flow statement, so it will look a little bit different. Think about the recurring expenses you have every month. Put them in this section. Think about some allowances you're going to have for maybe debit card spending or other kinds of spending, for advertising, for gas. Think about the insurance exposure and payments that you need to make on a monthly basis. Also think about your payroll expenses. You may have some non-recurring expenses. Perhaps you plan on buying some raw materials at a period of time. You need to place those in your cash flow. Perhaps you're going to buy a piece of equipment that you need to save up for a little bit. You can also place that in the cash flow demand. You may also want to put things in the cash flow like debt reduction. Maybe you borrowed some money from someone and you want to pay that over time. Maybe you've got loan obligations for an auto loan, as I have in this one. Also, as I mentioned with seasonal influences, you may want to put some cash aside for the winter. So in this particular cash flow, I added $3,000 on a regular basis that we're going to put aside, pull it out of the operating cash flow and put it into savings. We can use that then when the leaner months hit in, like I mentioned, January, February, March. So let's isolate one column. We have starting cash, the money that we expect to collect from our customers, and then the cash available. Then we've got all of the cash demands throughout the month. In this particular case, I've got $13,000 of cash that will be used, with $28,000 coming in. And then we have the over-under. It sounds a little more like Vegas, but we've got more cash available than we have demands on cash. And that ending cash becomes the beginning cash of our next month. This is a really easy tool to use, and I would recommend you create one of these. So besides a snazzy spreadsheet, what else can you do to be proactive about managing your cash flow? I mentioned some money in the pitfall section that should be isolated and kept out of your operations. Particularly that was payroll tax obligations and customer deposits. Those may or may not be applicable to your business. It's just a few examples. But I think having a separate checking account to put that money into, some people have a payroll account, some people have an operations account, some people have a customer deposit account, but keeping those segregated is really important and a key to managing good cash flow. Okay, last point on this slide, and we covered it a little bit before, but make sure you have access to cash. So a line of credit at the bank, maybe personal savings in the beginning, but just do me a favor, avoid accounts receivable loans. I've seen too many disasters with them. I know that they're everywhere, Cabbage, Funbox. It's too easy to get your hands on those. The repayment terms are really steep, and you're actually robbing the future availability of cash off of your invoices to use now. They're just not a good idea. So I don't know why I feel shy about saying that out loud, but I'm saying it. Don't do AR loans. Find something else. So what do you think? Can you do it? Can you manage your cash flow? Can you cook up a spreadsheet? Can you be planful? Can you set up access to cash with short-term cash availability from a line of credit? Can you collect quickly from your customers? Can you pay your vendors slowly, on time, but slowly? I know you can. And good luck. Again, this is Beth Melcher with MoneyFit. We're here to fuel your business prosperity. Please visit us at our website at BEMONEYFIT.com. That's BeMoneyFit.com. Subscribe to the channel. Hopefully before I retire, I can finish the rest of this alphabet. And thanks for your time. Bye.